Talking scenes in webtoons and in comics have a high risk of being visually boring. Let's talk about some ways to make your talking scenes feel like action scenes. Hey, Walter here, doing what I can to make comics easier because it shouldn't be overwhelming or daunting to tell your story. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you ain't a jive turkey. I talked about action in another video, so I thought it only fair to talk about talking scenes. Talking scenes can easily become talking head sequences, and this is when each panel is just a back and forth of similar camera shots, the same angle, same distance. This is the visual equivalent of me just saying the same word over and over again, or a song that just repeats the same 5-word chorus for 3 minutes straight. Unless we're talking about dance remixes, then it's okay. But if you want more exciting talking scenes, just remember to fade. Focus, acting, distance, and energy. So focus on different elements in the scene. The character's head isn't the only thing in that scene. Focus on a fist, on a pose, on an object in the room, maybe something outside the window. Anything to give us a break from just looking at the same head, even if it's just a gorgeous head. So acting, put your characters to work. A body standing at rest is just as boring as a talking head. What's the emotion the character is experiencing? Do some interpretive dancing with your posing to express that emotion. Emotions, it's not just for faces anymore. Distance, change up the distance of the camera, technically the angle as well, but I couldn't work that into my acronym. Fade. Moving the camera and tilting the camera is going to create movement in your scene, even if there isn't any character movement. Lastly, energy. Treat a talking scene the same way you would an action scene, using the first 3 elements to help guide you. In acting, they say there are no bad actors, no bad characters, just bad actors, and that sort of applies with talking scenes. A boring talking scene is only boring if we make it boring, so put as much energy into it as you would an action scene. Let's do a quick example of 2 people walking through a city having a conversation. Actually, that's too easy. Let's do 2 people standing in a city. No, still too easy. 2 people standing in a vast desert. Nope, let's do 2 people standing in an empty void. All right, perfect. This is also a good reminder of why establishing shots are important for your comic, or at least that they should be. If we didn't have an establishing panel, we wouldn't know where these 2 characters are, even though it's just a void. All right, so first we have the talking head version. You can see I'm moving the camera a little. There are some emotions there, a little body movement, but does it adhere to fade? Nah, because it's missing that energy. It's missing our energy. So if I were to redo this with the same fade style to it, it would look a little more like this. Hopefully we can agree this is a little bit more of a lively rendition of the scene. Notice how I focus on a character's bald fist. Notice how much energy I put into their emotional poses. Notice how drastic the camera distances and angles are changing. I want to mention that it's also not just the art, the energy also needs to be applied to the writing as well. If the scene is written because it's just trying to spew out a bunch of information, then it's gonna make for a boring scene. As a writer, you need to find ways to not only make a scene have energy, but also to find or create the best scenes for your purpose. Manipulate your story so that you get the best scenes. It's your story, you get to do whatever you want. Is there a better scene choice than just 2 people standing in a void? Could they maybe have the same conversation flying through space trying to decipher a code, and the dramatic scene ultimately reveals the truth about their feelings for each other? I don't know. That's up to the writer to decide. Maybe it has to be in a void, in which case the writer better write some awesome dialogue. Hey, I made a video about writing dialogue, so check that out. Also, if you ever want to ask me directly for help, check out my Patreon page for access to my super secret Patreon only Discord channel, or you can just also join the Illustrati Discord server to hang out with other helpful creators. All the links are down below. And if you want to keep making comics easier, be sure to like, link, love, hug, and hit that sub button for more sweet, sweet goodness. Peace.